Okay, are we live? Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the meeting tonight. We're having a special meeting for some consideration. We'll start off with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, tonight we're going to consider consideration of Resolution 4-2022, approving the execution and delivery of an agreement to the release and assign the city's opioid claims to the Kansas Attorney General, and certifying costs attributable and to substance abuse and addiction mitigation in excess of $500. And I think Travis was going to speak on this.
Yeah, Commissioner, thank you for gathering this evening. So what you have before you is a resolution, but essentially it's through the Attorney General's office, and it waives counties and municipalities on further litigation past this Kansas Fights Addiction Act. By signing off on this, it frees up funds for potentially for purchasing what we thought of and was the Narcon test, or and that's the stuff that if somebody's overdosing, that we can administer to a person to save them. Now, what we thought we wanted to outfit with all the police cars and all the fire trucks with that. Our hope is, if funds was available to purchase that, our hope is that they all, set them and expire. But we did one last year. One of our detectives came on a person that was having an overdose, and saved him. So that would be some of the funds we would like to purchase. Now, also it talks about, we kind of have to prove or show that we're either going to, we've had expenses for this type of problem, or going to purchase or have some expenditures. And that even has to do with manpower. And so I asked our dispatch supervisor today, I said, oh, could you go back 5 years on and have, how many overdoses or calls we've had that involved an overdose, and there was 89 over the last 5 years. So I mean that's
Wow.
countywide. I mean that could have been rural fire, that could have been sheriff's department, it could have been police, fire, EMS. But conservatively, if 50% of those was in the city of Fort Scott, why that far exceeds $500 worth of manpower responding to those, working those cases and things like that. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. But what it does is it waives further litigation for counties and cities, and then it opens up and gives us the eligibility to receive funds in the future.
And Travis, that's broken out of the funds. 75% stay with the state, and then allocated to the city is 25%.
Right, and so breaking down from that 25% to
Sure.
I guess it kind of depends on how many elect to participate in this. Yeah.
But I mean, they'll be able to show us, like they do for other stuff, the the state total and what was allocated out to each county or municipality over time. So we'll get a better idea of how it actually is working out for us.
True. Right. That's the way I anticipate it as well. Yes.
And this, just a little bit of data. In Kansas in 2018, 45% of the drug overdose deaths in Kansas were from opioid overdoses. There were 345 drug overdose deaths in Kansas, and 156 of those were opioid overdoses.
It's a problem in the United States. So I threw out a statistic today, but the United States, we make up 5% of the world's population, yet we consume 80% of the world's prescription drugs. So,
So Narcan, it works against fentanyl also, correct?
Yeah.
And there've been, I think everyone's seen, there's been several cases of law enforcement officers that were exposed to the fentanyl, and if it hadn't been for a partner or somebody having the Narcan with them, it could have ended a lot differently.
Yeah, and what we've had in the past is the nasal. So it's not a policeman's not giving a shot. It's a nasal application, and I would just suspect that's probably what we would do again if we was able to do something along with it.
Most of the kits we've looked at to purchase for the PD cars are the nasal applications.
Okay, any other questions?
We don't have any idea how much money we'll be getting,
No,
how much we're forfeiting by
No,
agreeing to this.
what this essentially does is makes us eligible for potential funds or being reimbursed. And I asked that question as well, and I don't know how that's going to work out.
Will there be any funds that are going to go into education of the public or treatment as well?
Right. So the informational sheet that
I think it said
the-
where they can.
What are approved purposes? Approved purposes will likely include projects and activities, including law enforcement that prevent, reduce, treat, or mitigate the effects of substance abuse and addiction. Language in various settlements and finalized MOU will offer more clarity on this. Cities will be able to partner with nonprofit entities or pool money with other municipalities to settle funds on the project well suited to address the problems. And then another one that's just past that, it says examples we have heard from cities have been cost of Narcan kits and personnel costs to emergency agencies, fire, EMS, and police in responding to overdose calls. So that's just kind of in their informational sheet that was on the League of Municipalities website. But yes, I thought about that also is if I had, speakers come into the schools or businesses or wherever, literature that we could, pass out on resources, things like that. That's not spelled out in that, but I think that probably all fall under some of those in that area.
No other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 4-2022.
Second.
Call the vote.
Pete Allen,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Kevin Allen.
Yes. And I believe that's the only thing on the agenda, so
Motion to adjourn.
motion, there you go. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we just need a brief executive session, so we'll need to read that. There's a thing that, there's a situation we don't make you aware of.
There's, it's covered under attorney-client privilege because it's potential claim against us. And
Well, then I move that the city commission recess into executive session for the purpose of non-elected personnel pursuant to attorney-client privileges,
it's attorney-client privilege with your
KSA,
attorney.
yes, 75-4319B2.
I wouldn't think it would be more than 15 minutes, would you?
Okay.
We just want to update you on some stuff.
For 15 minutes.
Who's in the?
It'll be the 5 city commissioners, city manager, and the city attorney.
Yep. Need a second?
Second.
Pete Allen,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Matt Wells.
Yes.
Kevin
Thank you.
Allen.
Yes.
Motion to come out of the executive session. Second.
Okay. Pete Allen,
Yes.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
Tim Van Hook,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Kevin Allen.
Yes. I think that does it for us. Meeting, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tim Van Hook,
Yes.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
Pete Allen,
Yes.
Kevin Allen.
Yes.